Joining us right now,
Thanks.
Fox News digital politics editor and host of Power Play, Chris Stirewalt. Chris, good to see you.
Good morning.
Was that a move of desperation or what? They're still not accepting Donald Trump and they want him to take him down.
What? That was a move of desperation by who?
Mitt Romney. I mean, is there a bombshell or not?
I have no idea if there's a bombshell. The question for Donald Trump is how long can he wait to release his tax returns? If he releases them now, Donald Trump can lock up the Republican nomination. He can take his minority stakeholder share in the Republican Party and use it to lock up the Republican nomination really as soon as the 16th of March. He could really be just a few weeks away from being the presumptive or the de facto nominee of the party. He needs for these kinds of things to come later because it's still soon enough that the Republicans could unite behind another candidate and topple him. I think for Romney, who Trump has bludgeoned repeatedly over and over again, he's been one of Trump's favorite punching bags, and Romney has not responded to him. I think for Romney, this is giving the remaining contenders in the race, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, a little door to go through to try to push Trump on a weak spot.
Yeah, first he said, look, we have reason to believe, and then he said, I think. So I'm just looking for the actual evidence that there could be a bombshell. You know?
I think that's trumping Trump. I think that is using Trump-nesian techniques. This is Romney adopting Trump-like techniques. I don't know if he's eligible for president. I heard he's a Canadian sleeper cell. I'm just asking questions. I'm just throwing things out there. I think this is Romney adopting his techniques.
I just think that, I think once again, Trump's tweet probably trumps all, really conquers all. I mean, if anybody really thinks, and look, Mitt Romney, is a very decent, honorable man. He failed. He lost the election in 2012. If anybody thinks that Mitt Romney really has any influence right now over, with Trump voters or with people who might be persuaded to vote for Trump, I think they're.
You don't think it's going to work?
Yeah. No, they're not going to. This isn't going to. I mean, Chris is right. There is going to come a point at which Trump is going to be repeatedly asked about these tax returns.
Yeah.
And is he able to put it off after March 15th? Yeah, very, very probably.
Right.
At some point, he's going to have to do it. And or maybe again, as I said earlier, Trump doesn't play by any known rules. Maybe this is yet another one where he'll be able to get away without doing it. But of course, it's a reasonable point. Romney is not the strongest person to make the case.
Well, and hey, Chris, you mentioned that maybe Mitt Romney's teeing this up for Cruz and Rubio, but they've waited too long to go after Trump, don't you think? Cruz was trying to draft Donald Trump and stay out of his line of sight for so long, and now it's too late.
Well, certainly in the case of Cruz, his strategy did not work. His strategy where he was going to be a pilot fish swimming under Donald Trump and wait for the opportunity that somehow Trump would self-destruct. But as it turns out, when we see this in exit poll after exit poll after exit poll, Trump doesn't gain voters at the end. Late deciders don't go to Trump. But for people who made up their minds more than a month ago, and in a lot of cases it looks like it was the summertime when they made up their minds, they don't care what anything that Donald Trump says. You can dip the bullets in pig blood. You can say anything you want about anything, and they come back for more. And I think that's very true. But in the case of Rubio basically has a week to 10 days to change the contour of this race. It is a moonshot that he needs to get past Trump, but he still has an avenue. Okay,
so that's a really good point. Chris, what do you think? Can you navigate for us this next couple of days here as we go into South Carolina and Nevada?
Enormously consequential debate tonight on some other network that's not as good as this one. But the debate is enormously consequential because every time the stage shrinks, it gets tougher for the front runner in every cycle, right? When you go down to fewer and fewer candidates, there are more questions, more scrutiny for the front runner. The case for Trump tonight, I expect, will be that Cruz and Rubio will both, yes, they'll take shots at each other, but the central line of fire is going to be on Trump, his business record, his taxes, the bankruptcies, all of that stuff will be a big part tonight. And I think in addition to that, the idea of is this the nominee? Does this person stand for the Republican Party, and are you guys ready to do it?
Yeah, and Romney teed all of that up, actually, so it was perfect ahead of this. Chris, good to see you. Thanks so much, sir.
You bet. Have a great day.
Chris Stirewalt there. Don't forget.